Hello everyone, welcome to Desi United Stand. My name is Shri. Hope you all are doing well, especially after that match today against Brighton in Old Trafford. Now, before we get into the post-match reaction, I hope the video quality and the sound quality is better on this one because I did receive few messages from my colleagues and friends and few fans as well um, regarding the video quality on the previous video, which was our first. Now, because this is a new channel, everything is new for me. I have never ever done a vlog in my life. This is my first uh, sports channel, and I am not the guy who have been speaking in front of the camera. I have always been behind the camera. So I'm still learning how to do vlogging, how to do make videos, how to make videos basically. And yes, suggestions like these do help. And I hope this video quality and the sound quality is going to be much better than the previous one. And I'm open to suggestions. Please do comment below on what else can I do to improve, especially in this space above here. Um, I was thinking about some frames of Manchester United, or to hang a couple of jerseys, remove them these from here. Whatever suggestions, I am open to those. Before I jump into the topics, which are a lot to be discussed today, I wanted to clear the air on some of the messages that I have been receiving since we have done the first video. Now, nothing serious. It's all about the reason few of them want to understand, because the name is Desi United channel, Desi United Stand, basically. Why do I not speak in any regional language of India? Because Desi means, who comes from, who has Indian roots, basically. That is why I went with the name as Desi. And the reason is very simple. My reason for starting this channel was I wanted to create a community. I wanted to start a channel where I can communicate, where I can speak and get the feelings and emotions as a Manchester United fan. I could speak about them. And also, I wanted people to understand. That is where the communication comes from. Now, if I did this in any regional language, say Hindi or any other, my reach would be very limited. It would only be to people who understand that language. Now, because Manchester United is a global community, we support the club from all over the world. We have millions of fans. Not everyone knows Hindi or any other regional language for that matter that comes from India, but most of them, most of you understand English. It's a language that can be communicated with, and I can reach many people, and our feelings can come on this platform in a common language. Now, if I did this, I personally know many Indian languages, at least that I can count on my fingers, at least four or five of them. Now, if I do the videos in those languages, as I said, the reach would be very limited. So, and I don't want to offend anyone in India as well, because if I speak in Hindi, someone who doesn't understand Hindi, maybe he's from the north of India, from the south or the east or the west, he or she is not going to understand what I'm trying to communicate here, what I'm trying to say. However, if that is in English, most of the people, football fans and Manchester United fans, not only in India, but across the world, are going to understand what I'm saying. So the main reason, the main intuition, as I said, was to communicate with fans like you. That is the main reason why I have chosen English as the language of communication here. So that was to clear the air about that topic. Jumping straight to today's match, let me know in comments, how do you feel? How were you feeling when you were watching the match live, and how did you feel after the match? How did you feel after the first half, basically? Because we conceded again within 12 minutes. Now, we are talking about two sides who are bottom of the table, and we conceded again within the first 12 minutes. and we lost the match by 2 goals. The second scored by an ex-Manchester United player who came from our academy as well. That is Danny Welbeck. Now, my feelings are mix of a lot of feelings together, which is, of course, I'm very sad that we lost the match today because I was expecting an easy win because the Brighton side was not their main side. They were playing like a reserves Brighton side, to be honest. And I personally thought that we would score at least 2 or 3 goals and this would be an easy win. But that was not the case. So I'm really sad that the result did not go in our way. But I'm also very angry. I'm also very frustrated, um, feeling terribly devastated by seeing the result and by watching the game itself, I was feeling so like if I was in the stadium, I have been to the stadium many times, and whenever we played bad, this was me, where I was just screaming on the players, like, "What are you playing? How are you playing like this? And why are you playing like this?" Especially in today's game, there was no control at all from United side. If you look at the stats, yes, it does say that we had shots on target and this and that. But if you watch the game, or even if you once the extended highlights has been released by the club, you can try and watch it. We didn't control the game at all. It should have been a very easy flow where we are playing the back four, we are playing Bruno behind the strikers, we have got 2 midfields. Again, that's a topic to discuss later in the video. There was absolutely no control in the game. That is what I thought, and the result, of course, we did score 1 goal, which we also, in one of my previous videos, which I uploaded on Insta and on YouTube, which is like short videos, where I did before the match. I did discuss that I think, because I do the United predictions on the Manchester United app, I did predict that Sesko would score because he was coming with a good form from the previous game, where he did have a good game, but he also scored 2 goals. Yes, that was a good side to look at, a positive side to look, where yes, we have got a striker now who's got 3 goals in 2 games. But I was failing to understand as to why our midfield is so bad. Why did Fletcher go with 2 midfielders who have not played together for a very long time? Casemiro was doing really good in all the matches. We needed experience today because we are playing Brighton, but then to control the game, you need someone experienced standing there who can, pass the ball or get the experience in the game, basically. Of course, you can have Manu with him because he was there ready to go because he has not had his chances with Ruben Amorim, and later he was being injured. He had a calf injury. But then today, in the previous game, you had few minutes, but today when you are starting, of course, you're ready to go there. And of course, he did show there. He did play really good, but then you did not have anyone to control the game in front of the defenders for you to feed the ball to your attacking midfielder or to Bruno. Most of the game, you will see that the players were not in their position. That is what I analyzed. Let me know what you analyzed through the game. What is your take on that? But my analysis were that players were not, what do you say? Players were not disciplined with their position. You would see Dallo going forward as a winger, but then you are playing as a right back. You have a position to defend. So, okay, when you do the follow up runs, you have to keep it in your mind that you have to come back as well. So he was not in position. Because of that, if one player goes, the rest have to fill up the spaces, fill up the gaps. So when that used to happen, which happened most of the time in the match, other players were just going around. You could see Bruno, especially in the second half. You could see Bruno playing in in place of, say, Ugarte, because he was not there as well most of the times. You would see Mainu falling back. Now, if the players stayed in their position, we were playing back four. If these back four stayed in their places, we could take the game forward. But then no, if one or two players go ahead, there are only two centre backs remaining, and then the midfielders had to come back. And then we were trying to control the game in that way, but that just hit us back. And within the first 12 minutes, we conceded the goal. And it was so sad to see that we couldn't get back into the game within the first half itself. We were relying on players like when Lacey came on. I did put a video during the first half saying that I think Lacey would come in and he would get more minutes, and that is exactly what happened. He was introduced, I think, in 60th minute or something, and he did get a lot of minutes. But then you all know what happened. And I don't want anyone, of course, most of the United fans who have been supporting United since a very, very long time, they know how to nurture a young kid, how to nurture a young lad who's just been introduced to the game. So we won't put pressure on those. We won't say anything negative about them, because as an 18-year-old, if you have played the game, you know that sometimes the game gets into you, the situation gets into you. Okay, he was being yellow carded, and he should have kept it in mind not to do anything like that, what he did in the outline, where he just smashed the ball, and he shouldn't have done it, of course. But being 18-year-old, you're meant to do those things. You can't control your emotions as a mature person like Maguire or someone would do, or like Casemiro would do sometimes. So you can't expect them to be mature. You want them to be playing and be energetic as an 18-year-old would do. So nothing negative against him, because being an 18-year-old kid, all the pressure was on him. You could literally see everyone were passing the ball right to Lacey, and whenever he got the ball, there was a roar in the stadium, because the fans, 70,000 fans, they know what that young kid is capable of. Even in the previous match, he was just there for like 5 minutes, and what a beautiful shot, that curve shot. I can still remember it in the 85th minute, that he just cut down a player, shoot the ball, hit the post. So yes, whenever he got the ball, he was promising, he was doing something, he was getting the balls in the box. But there was absolutely no one in the box who could convert those crosses, who would convert those chances to goals. So that is something that never happened. And of course, he was then given a red card and sent out of the game. Now, it was in the later stages when Casemiro was introduced, and we tried to control the game, but because those changes happened, again we conceded one more goal, because those players were kind of in sync with each other. But then when you remove most of those synced players and introduce new of them, there is a reaction that you expect from the opposition team, and that is exactly what happened. And immediately after the change, within the next minute, there was another goal scored. So yeah, I am very, very sad about the result, very angry about the way we have played. And all of this, it goes back to the ownership of this club, because anyone who is sensible enough, anyone who has played the game, anyone who has watched the game for a long time, and all the fans, not only Manchester United fans, but if you ask any fan about the decision of sacking Ruben Amorim, not about the sacking itself, but the timing, that is what is most important. And the sensible ones will tell you, the smart ones will tell you that absolutely no chance this is the right time to do it, for n number of reasons. First of all, as the owners of the club, when you approached Ruben Amorim, you knew his style of play. You knew he plays a back three, and he won the league for Sporting. Now, of course, the Portuguese league and the Premier League are two different leagues, but when If you are the owner of something, like say a company, and you approach someone, say for the CEO role or the manager role, and if you have seen his work for his previous company and you're hiring that person for those qualities, for the way he is, his leadership is, you can't midway ask that person to change his style. That is so against the character of that person. And that is what I respect about Ruben, that even when he left, he did not leave his personality. Basically, he still played. Of course, in a couple of games, he did play the back four, and yes, we got results out of it. However, he went back to back three, and what many fans fail to understand is he was not being sacked for poor results. He was being sacked because he questioned the management. This is purely because of ego, where Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, out of nowhere, because they did not have any backup plan, that if this manager leaves, what are we going to do next? They did not, this was not in plans at all. So when he gave that answer to the reporter, that you're just getting bits and pieces of information from the management, from the club, I can clearly see that, and all I should say is they should be doing their job in a good way, and they should not interfere in others' job, which is exactly right. who who would like it if someone else who doesn't even understand anything about the management, about being a manager of the club, why would Ruben listen to Omar Barada or Jason Wilcox? In one of the videos, Jason Wilcox himself has said that in his mind, he is the manager. He likes to interfere in the strategies of the head coach. Now, this would be listened by the top managers whom we would be going for in the future, and they would be like, I am not going anywhere near this club. Can you imagine Zinedine Zidane or Ancelotti or anyone that you can think of, even Enrique, would listen to that and say, oh yeah, I would like to go in this management where someone would interfere in my strategies? Absolutely not. They are not going to come anywhere near our club. And what is going to happen is, we are going to discuss about this in tomorrow's video, where who do you think is going to be the next manager? And according to me, looking at how the management has been playing games, looking at how they have been thinking that we United fans are fools, basically, they are going to hire Ole Gunnar, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And the reason for that is very simple. They need to send out a good message now, because everyone knows it is not Ruben's fault, it is the management's fault. Everyone wants the management out for the good of the club. Now, to make everything settle down, they're going to introduce Oli again, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, then, because if we have any other manager, the fans are going to have questions, the ex-players are going to talk about it, the pundits are going to talk about it. But if it's Oli, no one's going to talk, because he has the name, which is the very famous name that is for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which is the baby assassin, if you know about it. So it is a very simple strategy by them.